Please turn your sound on to hear full explanations of our answers. Thank you. The question is, where can I get help for tinnitus? And the answer is probably not your doctor. Now, I realize that is controversial, and I am not a doctor, and obviously this is not medical advice I'm giving, but you will find that many tinnitus sufferers agree with me. Because if you see a doctor, or even if he refers you to a specialist doctor called an ENT, ear, nose and throat doctor, then one of the most common responses that you will hear from these doctors is, there's nothing you can do, tinnitus is incurable. Now, that is not true at all. You see, the reason they say that is because in 95% plus cases of tinnitus, then there is some hearing damage. You need hearing damage to already exist before you can get tinnitus. And at the moment, currently, although there's some research going into trying to get around this, but at the moment, when you have hearing damage, it's due to some small hair cells in your ear that are in an organ called the cochlea. It's because they get damaged, and the damage is irreparable. So because the damage is irreparable to the hair cells, then currently hearing damage is irreversible, and therefore that is why doctors tend to say that tinnitus cannot be cured. But what they ignore is that tinnitus is aggravated. It may not even appear, or it's aggravated due to what I call cofactors. And cofactors are things in your lifestyle that contribute to tinnitus. Many other factors over and not you already have the hearing damage, but then there's a whole lot of other factors come into play. And if you tweak these, if you change them, for example, some people believe that that Wi-Fi actually contributes to tinnitus. So if you were to turn off your router and then use a cable instead of wireless internet, you may experience, say, a 1 notch less of tinnitus intensity. It's definitely worth a try, because I think, as you would agree with me, even the slightest reduction in your tinnitus intensity is going to give you a much bigger increase, improvement in your quality of life. So that's just one example of a cofactor, but there are many more. So where can you get help for tinnitus? Not your doctor, but I would recommend looking at cofactors. So I would recommend looking at there are some good books out there, and I will recommend one shortly. Which brings me on to the next slide. For best results, we recommend the link below. And this is where I recommend that you go if you do want to reduce your tinnitus intensity and potentially even eliminate it altogether. And in doing so, you can only have upside. There can only be improvement in your condition, in your quality of life. So please have a look at that link below, and I'll see you next time. Take care.